Hello chess friends and welcome to Jozarov's chess channel and welcome to the Computer Chess Championship Season 11 Round 3. So finally this Round 3 has started. We have again great games by Lila C0, Stockfish, Komodo, Houdini and many more. And today I wanted to show you a great attacking brilliancy played by Stockfish versus this other top engine, Scorpio. We have again the King's Gambit, so be prepared. It's really unbelievable how Stockfish plays this King's Gambit. And I've explained now in many of my videos that this h5 continuation that's now often played by top engines is really a mistake. And basically the top engines like Stockfish and Lila C0 punish this move immediately. And that's why I'm not recommending you'll see in the continuation of this game, I'm not recommending you to play this line. They are really better lines, and I've analyzed them in one of my previous videos, so you can check it out. And I've been asked now where I watch these games. You have really this coverage of this CCC Season 11 on chess.com. The link of this very nice tournament will be in the description below, so you can check it out. You can watch games through the whole day, which is I think a really great thing, because the games are played through the whole day and you can really have fun whenever you watch this very nice site and also this very nice tournament. So let's jump to the game. We have the King's Gambit. Be prepared. It's again really a great tactical beauty played by Stockfish. We have e4, e4, e5, and now f4 played by Stockfish, and we have the King's Gambit accepted. Yoo-hoo, let's go. We have knight on f3, and now comes this move h5. There are really better lines like knight on f6 or d6. I've explained these lines in many of my videos of this computer chess games, but here h5, it leads now black into a bad position, because basically the advantage was in black's favor before this move. After the move h5, and again white has the advantage. So in the game d4 played by Stockfish, you see the main idea of the King's Gambit is of course to get this central control, to occupy these four central squares with the knight. With the support of the knight, it's a very powerful center. So g5 played by Scorpio, and now h4. We have the g4 of course, and now knight on g5. It seems like a dangerous move because we have f6, but this is really the main line. Here after bishop on f4 we have f takes g5, and now we have bishop on g5. And there are now several options. Now Scorpio played bishop on e7, and now queen on d2. There are also some options to play knight on f6 immediately, but I've explained also this line in one of my previous games. I'm not going to explain you now. Here we have the line bishop on g5, and now after h6 g5 we have a really complicated position now for black, because black is of course a piece up, but there are problems on the h file, which is the most important thing here. We can maybe in some occasions, of course, it won't be a line in this particular game, but after something like bishop on e2, then we have also the possibilities to play here bishop on g4, and then taking the rook here on h8. So these are the tactical possibilities, and they are also developing problems for black, because black cannot jump with the knight on natural squares like h6, f6. If e7, knight on e7 is played, then it blocks out the queen. So this is really complicated now for black to defend here. In the game, queen on e7 was played by Scorpion, and still I think something like d6 is simply better here. Of course, knight on c3, then bishop on e6. You have to get these pieces out. Something like bishop on b5 can be played, but now after knight on e7, maybe rook on f1, preventing this king to escape somehow, maybe hide here behind this pawn. In the continuation, maybe queen on e7, but now queen on f4, and after castling there is this problem of this d5. But after the move d5, you see the bishop, the light square bishop is trapped, but I think again you can solve these problems with knight on e5. After d takes e6, you have c6 kicking away the bishop, bishop on e2, and now queen takes on e6. I think it's playable here for black, because now the material is equal. You have something like knight on e7, then knight on g6, connecting these two knights. You have a good protection of this d6 pawn. You see white cannot jump with this knight on an active square on d5, and still we have here the 2-on-1 situation on the king side. So this could be, I think, a good continuation in this particular line. At least you have some counterplay possibilities. The bishop's activity here on e2 is also restricted by these two pawns, so I think this is playable. Although you gave up some material back. But again, I think this can be a good line for you. So in the game, queen on e7 was played, and again you see you haven't developed minor pieces. You have played with your queen, and of course knight on c3 played by Stockfish, protecting the e4 pawn. But the more important thing here is that we are preparing castling. Knight on c6, we have castling, and now d6. You see how black will has some problems because black hasn't developed a minor piece immediately, has lost the tempo in the development with the queen on e7, and now it gives against Stockfish the opportunity to play bishop on c4, queen on g7 was played, and now rook on f1 with the preparation to go with the rook on f7 or even bishop on f7, preventing black from castling here. So bishop on d7, now comes this move, bishop on f7, attacking the king, king on d8, and now there is again a new problem now in black's position, because black will never castle, of course, in this position. This rook is out of game, this knight is still out of game, this rook doesn't have any activity, and now you see we have a battery on the d file, which is the most important thing, and the main tactical idea here is to create a pawn breakthrough e5 and then open somehow the d file, because there is something going on here on the d file, of course. e5 immediately, as said by Stockfish, after knight from g to e7 we have g6, very important move. If you try here knight takes on g6, it can be dangerous because we can play knight on queen on g5 with a check. You cannot of course cover with your knight, then you lose the queen. The threat is of course we can take. If you try something like king on c8, then we can simply take. If rook on g8 here, then I think we can even take here a takes d6. If you try to take here with the queen on g6, then we can play rook on f8, deflecting this rook from the defense of the queen, and then you lose again some material, and this will be game over. So here after king on c8, here if we try bishop on g6, as said rook on g8, then if we take, if black takes here on d6, then rook on f6 is very dangerous, protecting. We gain back the piece, and now we have also attack against this d6. So as said, very annoying stuff here for black. Here after g6, if here knight on g6 and queen on g5, if you try something like knight on e7, then knight on d5 is very dangerous, again with the same pinning ideas. There are really some tactical motifs here going on. The queen is creating the pin on the king, the queen is creating also the pin on the queen, so very tricky stuff here prepared by Stockfish. So as said, in the game after g6, nothing was that happened here. Scorpio tried to get use of this pawn majority here, trying something like h3, h2, h1 of course, and really simplify the position at least. Here e6 was played by Stockfish, great move, of course connecting now these two pawns with this bishop. This is really, let's flip the board a little bit. If just imagine if you would play this position with this queen stuck here on g7, this bishop is very annoying here, so I wouldn't be satisfied with this position even with the piece up here. So let's see the continuation. Here after e6, bishop on e8 was played, and the problem here for black is that even if you take this bishop on f7, after g takes on f7, white will have these two connected pass pawns on the 6th rank and of course also on the 7th rank, and this is very dangerous. I've explained many times in my videos the power of this two connected pass pawns on the 6th or 7th rank. This is they're basically unstoppable. You can even support this pawn on e6 with the move d5, which is the most important thing here in the continuation. So that's why taking out this bishop doesn't bring you anything, and the problem for black is that you can never connect these rooks anymore. The rook connection, you see how these two rooks are working completely good here on the d and f file. Black will never connect these rooks in the continuation of the game because he played with their king. The king cannot play here something like c7 somehow really to connect them and create some kind of a blockade here on f8 and similar ideas. So this is really a better position for white even with the piece down. So knight on e4 was played by Stockfish, simply improving the position of the knight with preparations even to play knight on f6, attacking here this bishop on e8. Rook on b8 was played, and this is again a mistake, I think, by Scorpio. Maybe a better idea is to play g3. Maybe king on b1 can be played, but now we can try maybe to create some kind of a pawn breakthrough. Here in this position, the rook on b8 was played. It's really bad because it leaves now again white the opportunity to create a tempo. Here Stockfish played knight on f6. This is the problem, and if you try something like queen on h6, you see to trade off the queens to get some kind of simplification. We can simply take the queen on h6, rook takes, and now we can grab this piece. So here if you try bishop on f7, then as again g takes f7. If you try h3, then a knight on d7. It's very tricky because you see we have attacked the rook. If you go away with the rook here, then we have the promotion here on f8. So again, this would be game over. So b5 in this position was played. After rook on b8, knight on f6, and then b5 was played. Now king on b1 by Stockfish, and now a6. This a6, it seems like a natural move. It improves the position here on the queen side. It supports also the b5, but there is a problem about this move because we have now really some dark square problems on the queen side, and basically the defender of the dark squares is this knight on c6. So that's why we have to remove this knight on c6 in order to bring the queen somehow here on and create dangerous attacks on a7. That's why queen on e3, very nice move here by Stockfish, preparing now d5 and then queen on a7. In the game, bishop on f7 was played. After knight on g6, I think we can play simply taking the bishop, and then if rook takes, of course, we can simply take and maybe get use of this pawn. We can jump with our rook on f7 on the 7th rank, which is also very dangerous. So basically this game is lost for black, but of course Scorpion tried. Here after queen on e3, as said, bishop takes on f7 was played, but now g takes f7, and as I said, we have now this two connected pass pawns, which can even be more supported here with the move d5, but not that this pawn only supports this e6, it creates also some dangerous attacks on a7. So king on c8, Scorpion is trying to get rid of this annoying king here somehow, maybe connect finally the rooks. You see Scorpio is desperately trying to connect the rooks, but it's not possible. After d5, knight on e5, and now queen on a7, very nice move here. Queen on f8 was played, the rook on d4. Now the preparation is of course to play somehow maybe a4 or taking even this pawn, then rook on b4 and taking even this b5 pawn. Rook on b7, of course not a problem, we can simply take. Queen on a6, now king on b8 was played. Okay, this is sort of castling here by black, but it's, as I said, game over. We have rook on b4 attacking this b5 weakness. h3, it's a little bit too late because we can simply take rook on b5, rook takes, queen b5, king on c8, but now very nice move, knight on d7. If you take, of course, there is this problem. After knight takes on d7, we can simply take king on b7, but now rook on f4 is very dangerous, creates even some checkmate threats. So that's why after queen on b5 and king on c8, here rook on f4 immediately. We have knight on d5, but it's not a problem. Again, we have queen on a5, queen on d5 with the preparation to create checkmate threats here on a8. Of course, if you try something like h2, then you get checkmated immediately here with queen on a8. So that's why after queen on d5, c5 was played, but this is really game over. We have a forced checkmate in 3, queen on c6, rook on king on b8, but now rook on a4. We have h2, but now rook on a8, and it's a checkmate. Again, great attack by Stockfish. As said, I just want to go back to this position, h5. This is really not something that you should try at home. Don't play this line. I think something like d6 here, or knight on f6 is much better. As said in my previous videos, after this continuation knight on f6 and e5, you can always try knight on h5 and similar ideas. Maybe then track the position with d6, get use of this light square diagonal. There are really better options if you play, of course, the king gambit accepted, and I think this h5 is really a good thing for Stockfish and Lila C0. I've seen now many times both of them punching this h5 move and crushing them, even with some piece sacrifices like in this game. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this game. I enjoyed it a lot. Meanwhile, you can watch my other commentary chess games played by computers, and you can also watch my best chess games of all time, in which I show you all of the best chess games that have been played in chess history. See you soon with some more videos, and chess is the best, of course.